This is how you can tell a beginner DJ from a pro. The difference between the two is that the pro DJ actually put thought into where and when they would transition, unlike the beginner who just mixed anywhere. So in order to mix cleanly and make people dance, learning proper phrase mixing is a must. And in order to phrase mix like a pro, you first need to understand song structure. Now we have a lot of different songs and different genres out there, so several songs have different structures. However, the majority of dance and club-oriented tracks follow the same formula when it comes to song structure. So most songs can be divided into the following parts or phrases: intro, verse, chorus, bridge, outro, and for many electronic songs, build-up. Usually pop, rock, and hip-hop songs follow this flow: intro, first verse, first chorus, second verse, second chorus, bridge, chorus, and finally outro. House songs generally just add a build-up between each verse and chorus, but generally follow a similar structure. So this phrase here is the intro. Normally with extended edits, which are edits you can usually find from record pools like BPM Supreme, this part is 32 to 64 beats long and is composed of nothing but drums, percussion, and sometimes bass. This is the part many DJs use for mixing, since there are no intrusive elements that could clash with the song you're transitioning out from. As you heard, this part provides ample space to ease in your next track without intruding on your current song. Now, this next phrase is the verse. This is where your song truly begins, with the lyrics kicking in. Staring at two different views on your window. This could range from 32 to 64 beats depending on the song. So it's always good to give your songs a good listen the moment you add it to your playlist. Normally, there are 2 to 3 different verses in a song. They usually share the same melody but have completely different lyrics. After this, we have the build-up. This phrase usually appears in electronic songs and is characterized by a build-up in energy towards the main chorus. Normally, this lasts 32 beats, though there are some EDM songs that shorten this to just 16. Now take note that this phrase doesn't usually appear in pop, hip-hop, and rock songs, though some of the aforementioned genres do incorporate build-ups to further emphasize the next phrase, the chorus. Now the chorus phrase is arguably the most important part of any song. This is the part that the majority of the crowd will recognize and go nuts over. So this phrase usually lasts for 32 beats and is repeated 2 to 4 times in a song. Now, it's important to note that some songs tend to add an extra 4 to 8 beats in their chorus. So pro tip, add a cue point 32 beats before the end of your chorus to help ensure your transition always ends in time. You can do this by heading to the end like this, and beat jumping back 32 beats using your software's beat jump feature like this. Then, add a cue point like this to mark the point 32 beats before the end of your chorus. Next, we have the phrase called the bridge, which links the second chorus to the final phrases of a song. And depending on the song, this could be a slowdown, a different set of lyrics set to a different melody, an instrumental solo, or something else completely. Finally, we have the outro. This phrase comes at the very tail end of the song and is usually devoid of vocals and other intrusive elements similar to the intro. This could be 32 to 64 beats long, just like the intro. Now, radio edits normally don't have this part, as the songs end cold after the last set of choruses or fade out. Now with that crash course on song structure done, it's still important to listen to each of your songs, as there are tracks out there that don't follow the standard 32 beat per phrase formula of most songs. This way, you'll never miss out on making that perfect transition. Now that we've talked about the parts that make up a song, how do we use our newfound phrase knowledge to mix them properly? Well, let's get down to some basic transition methods. So let's talk about the first method, which I refer to as intro-outro mixing. So this involves mixing the intro section of the next song at the outro section of the current song. This way, the first verse of the next song seamlessly begins right after the current song's outro section. The advantage of this type of sectional mixing is that it provides the DJ the most time to prepare and beat match their next song. However, one potential effect on the dance floor is that the audience might become bored from the current song, given that it's played in its entirety. I personally only recommend this mixing for house and electronic sets, where the audience normally expects the songs in their entirety. Next, we have intro-chorus mixing. In this approach, you mix the intro section of the next song at the chorus section of the current song. This way, as the chorus of the current song ends, the first verse of the next song smoothly begins. Oh yeah. Now most pro DJs mix between these two sections because doing so helps maintain the energy of the mix. By transitioning out from the best part of the current song and introducing a new track, this type of transition not only maintains the momentum of the mix, but also provides the flexibility to switch tracks swiftly if the current track proves less effective. Now if you really want to bombard your audience with non-stop power combos, you can also try some of these faster paced, higher energy transition techniques. Now take note that these techniques should be used sparingly, as they can tire out an audience quite quickly. However, when used at the right time, these transitions pack a harder punch on the dance floor. With that being said, the next method is what I like to call build-up to build-up mixing. So this involves mixing the next song's build-up section with the current song's build-up section. Then right before the current song's drop hits, one fades the current song away and fades the next song in, so that the next song's drop hits instead. This is an excellent way to keep the energy on the dance floor high, as doing this keeps your audience on their toes wondering what the next song will be. Think of it as a bait and switch of sorts. Now normally, I'd only recommend doing this with iconic drops though, as to not accidentally pull the rug from under your dance floor in the wrong way. Moving on to our last technique, we have chorus to chorus mixing. And this is done when one mixes the next song's build-up section in at the current song's chorus section, so that the next song's chorus begins when the current song's chorus ends. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug. My mind got what you need if you need to feel a buzz. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love, so come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug. My mind got what you need if you need to feel a buzz. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love, so come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. This mixing style is the best way to keep the mix's energy up at its highest level, as you are bombarding your audience with chorus after chorus. The one caveat of this style is that one tends to tire the crowd incredibly fast. So the best time to do this type of mixing is when you feel like your set has reached its peak in terms of crowd energy and enjoyment. By the way, all the songs used in this video are from BPM Supreme, and you can get a huge discount on their services by using the coupon code down below. And that's it. Now you know a little more about how your songs work inside and out. Now if you want to learn more about transitions, check this video over here.